I don't think we need to put a lot of weight on political parties because, like somebody put it there earlier on, political parties have become vehicles to bargain into power. But what do you do with that power once you get it? What do you do with that power? What William Ruto told us when he was out of power, when he was apparently not the president, let me not say out of power because he was still in power anyway, when he was the deputy president, but what he pledged and what he promised when he got whatever he wanted, what is he doing with that power? Is he using that power to empower farmers, empower business people? How many manufacturers have relocated from Nairobi, from Kenya to Dar es Salaam? Is William Ruto doing what he promised to do once he gets that power? So what we should be asking ourselves is the likes of Mother Karua who have parties, the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka who have parties, the likes of Gachagua who has opened a party. Once they get power, because they're using those political parties to get power, are they going to do what Kenyans want? People talk about being in the government halfway, partly, and this is very unfortunate because Parliament is supposed to be an independent house whose critical role and core objective is to actually check the executive, the presidency, and the judiciary, and many other arms of government. But when the opposition joins government and actually behave like it is part of executive, then we have no country to run. And that is exactly what is happening right now in the Kenyan parliament. Members of parliament present themselves outside parliament like they are part of executive. They actually go and give out policies that are supposed to be given by executive. To some extent, members of parliament have become the MC of presidential events. We have seen, like, for example, the majority leader, who is supposed to be the majority leader in parliament, but becomes the official MC in a presidential event. So then how do you draw a line between parliament, executive, and presidency? And that is why we have had serious goofs, serious gaps that parliament is supposed to have filled and has failed to fill. And that is why my former colleague, Jennifer Shamala, is speaking the way she's speaking, because she has been in that parliament and she understands what ODM is supposed to be doing. ODM is supposed to be the check for the government, for the executive. ODM is supposed to be asking questions. Why is Kenya not aligning with its international policy, for example? Why is Kenya playing a role in an invalid government, for example? Aiding and facilitating rogue governments. Why is Kenya being accused? Why is Kenya messing around tea exports, for example, as I'm sure you know, that Kenya has messed up our tea exports to Sudan. We have over 200 containers of unsold tea in Mombasa warehouses, and to some extent in Sudan. Tea is stuck up in warehouses. We messed up.
Exactly.
We messed up. Who is feeling the pain? It is not the political class, like I said. It is the farmer. What do we tell those thousands and thousands of farmers who've been waiting for the prices of tea to improve after the tea was sold in Mombasa auction, which was not sold? What do we tell the businessmen who had committed millions and billions of shillings into exporting tea to Sudan? Mind you, that tea was already packed and blended, so it cannot be repacked, unpacked, and unblended. I mean, when a government just become a chaotic government, and the people who are supposed to be checking government marry into that government illegally and purport to be part of government partly, and partly they are not in government, then this is a concussion of confusion. And that is why some of us are really upset, because we don't understand exactly what is it that we are supposed to do. Some of us have had to step up. We are supposed to be part of that ruling class, but sometimes you feel like you're not being fair to the people who expect you to stand in and say it as it is. For example, how many people in ODM are speaking for tea farmers? I believe ODM is also elected in areas where tea farmers are. For example, in the areas of Kakamega, areas of Kericho, areas of Trans Nzoia, where ODM was elected. Why is ODM quiet, yet it is the party that we Kenyans were looking up to? Why are they quiet when thousands of kilograms of tea stack up for over a year? Now, almost a year. So I think these are some of the things that are making us behave the way we are behaving. Like I said, I don't think we need to put a lot of weight on political parties because, like somebody put it there earlier, political parties have become vehicles to bargain into power. But what do you do with that power once you get it? What do you do with that power? What William RUTO, my president, told us when he was out of power, when he was apparently not the president, let me not say out of power because he was still in power anyway, when he was the deputy president, but what he pledged and what he promised when he got whatever he wanted, what is he doing with that power? Is he using that power to empower farmers, empower business people? How many manufacturers have relocated from Nairobi, from Kenya to Dar es Salaam? Is William RUTO doing what he promised to do once he gets that power? So what we should be asking ourselves is the likes of Mother Karua who have parties, the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka who have parties, the likes of Gachagua who has opened a party. Once they get power, because they're using those political parties to get power, are they going to do what Kenyans want? Not what they want as individuals, but what Kenyans want. Because that's the question. Let's go back to Parliament. What is the role of Parliament when executive is presenting a budget proposal that doesn't have even the critical issues, the critical baseline that the masses of Kenya expect to have? For example, we just witnessed the other day, the executive presenting a budget proposal that doesn't have examination vote. What is the work of the opposition? Who is speaking for Kenyans about examinations, for example? Who should be speaking? Should it be Gathoni, who is in UDA, who is not supposed to speak because she's going to get a disciplinary letter? Or is it my brother Tom Ojienda, who is on the other side, who is supposed to be asking these questions? So, like I said, the biggest blunder we have made, whether we have new political parties or revive old political parties, the biggest blunder we have done is to elect the wrong materials of members of parliament, both in Senate and parliament, to elect people who are not interested in the interest of the people who vote for them. That's the
We are the right people. What do you mean? We are the right. We are doing very well.
I haven't said you. I have said people. I have not been specific whether it is you or not. Why are you jumping?
No, we are very serious.
Yes, you're right.
You don't think serious. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, allow me to Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Honorable Wamuchomba. I think you raised pertinent issues here regarding also the stand of ODM and the role of being in the opposition, or as it were, the minority in government, because we don't have officially, of course, the opposition. As that is readily understood, and you've quite clearly indicated that this with great intensity. And I want just to ask a question, moving just forward, because as it is, because listening to Senior Counsel Professor Tom Ojienda, I think, yes, you're throwing Kenyans and you're making Kenyans to making monkeys out of Kenyans. That you are here enjoying the benefits of the exchequer as the opposition.